World Series Game 5. There are only two things in baseball that get bigger than World Series Game 5. What are those?
Game 6 and Game 7.
Yes. But this is the biggest game the Philadelphia Phillies have played in 13 years. And there's a lot to discuss, along with what you want to talk about as well. We would love to get you in the chat. We would love to even have a chance for you to be a guest, video guest on this live discussion of the 2022 World Series. Who are you?
I'm Anthony.
I am Daddy, Jay to the rest of the entire world. Let's get you to sit up and show off your Phillies duds.
We got Mikey in the chat. What's up?
Hey. Absolutely. Thank you for popping in.
I told him we were going live about an hour ago when we were on the phone.
For all of you that are watching both live and on the replay, make sure you like the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And make sure to add a comment to the discussion. And share this with all the people you know. Like, share, subscribe, and as the Phillies say,
smash that bell.
Ding, ding, ding. Though on Twitter, they still use hashtag hit the bell, not smash the bell.
Well, the signage says. So,
King Pookie Nation, hey there. Thank you for popping in. By the way, if you need a second screen during this World Series, we are going to be going during pregame until the first pitch. I believe, King Pookie Nation, you're doing a live during the game?
Everyone's going to be live tonight.
That's why I'm glad we're doing this right now, that way we can just sit back and relax.
It's been that way all series. There's so many great channels, including King Pookie Nation.
Where were we yesterday?
Oh, I wasn't in this chat yesterday. I was moderating over on Golden Blue Dude.
CJ! Hey! We got
C&J.
Yeah, CJ. Yes, this World Series has had so many ridiculous and fun sidelines, like subplots to it that have all played themselves out with this. And it's just been absolutely bonkers. Everything from the comeback in Game 1 to the near comeback in Game 2 to the power surge to a record-tying level for the Phillies in Game 3 to what happened yesterday?
A no-hitter for the Astros. Only the third time in World Series history it's happened.
I'm going to make a very strange prediction here that some people may think is strange, and a strange statement that goes with it. One, I think the Phillies are going to win this World Series. I changed my mind. I thought the Astros were going to win this thing in 6 or 7.
Okay. But
having seen the kind of resiliency the Phillies have had all year as a team, I think, number one, the fact that there were no hit last night. I almost think that for them, for this unique team of guys, it would be psychologically worse for them to have played a really close game and lost.
Yeah.
Than it would to get their butts handed to them the way that they were last night.
Yeah. And now they're fired up.
One, I think they're fired up. And number two, I think what you have to do with a situation like this, sometimes when you lose a game, you are so focused on what you did wrong. And that's a right thing, to be focused on what you did wrong. Turkey CJ4 and a logo that I can't see with my ugly glasses that don't work properly.
It's not baseball, I can tell you that.
Okay.
I don't think it is. Unless
it's another turkey.
It might be Orbit. I don't know.
But either way, and your prediction of the Astros winning the World Series is for completely understandable reasons. Yeah. I mean, totally makes sense. I'm not going to knock it or down it because this is a ridiculously competitive World Series, which is the kind that I love. But last night, the pitching that they got from Christian Javier was some of the best pitching, I would say, in the history of the World Series. And I'm not just saying that because it's only the second no-hitter ever.
Oh, I thought it was the third.
Second no-hitter in World Series history.
Okay.
Third ever in postseason history. It wasn't just because they accomplished the feat. It's simply because he was so ridiculously lights out. It's as if you took vintage Greg Maddux at his best and stuck him on a pitching staff with a bunch of average pitchers.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the Astros are all average pitchers. They're not.
Verlander good. Valdez,
Right.
little stuff in his hair. Cheater. Not in it. Well, I mean, I have seen a lot of those Astros pitchers are being a little sus. Yeah, I agree. They've been cheating this series. We've all seen it.
But not last night with Javier.
Did
He was just masterful.
I was about to say, unless he had some sticky stuff on that thing.
The level of just how, if you looked at his slider and his curveball, you look at those pitches, and you see just how off the table they dropped.
Oh, it's insane.
And the fact that his fastball was as lights out as it was. I mean, you're talking Greg Maddux, Sandy Koufax, ridiculous Hall of Fame level domination for one night.
Yeah.
Number one, the other Astros pitchers aren't that good.
Yeah.
Especially against a lineup as loaded as the Phillies, who had hit 5 home runs by 5 different players in the first 5 innings of Game 3.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to get another game on the mound like that the rest of this World Series. I think Phillies winning tonight, that gives them 2 shots in Houston.
Yeah.
And they're not going to get that same performance off a pitcher who was as dominant as he was in Game 3 on short rest.
Yeah.
That's why I think the Phillies are going to win this thing.
Yes. So I will say that going today, I'm taking the Phils to win. I like them. They're mad right now. They're fired up. They need to win. It's been a back-and-forth series.
Mm-hmm.
Game 6, I haven't liked what I've seen out of Wheeler and Nola both this postseason. We saw Nola last night. Wheeler's gonna be on the mound for Game 6. Haven't liked it. Wheeler's been insanely fatigued, as manager Rob Thompson has talked about.
I'm glad he's getting an extra day of rest.
Yeah. So, but in Game 7, with the way this postseason has been going, I trust Ranger Suarez more than anyone on this staff. Yeah. It's just, he's been lights out. And in a Game 7 situation, I trust him. Phil's in 7. I think they take it. And we're going to have a party on Broad Street.
Tell us who you think's winning this series. Tell us who you think is winning tonight and why. We've given our spiel on it. I think if you look up and down, I think the matchup of the Phillies' power, especially tonight, in a bandbox, small stadium like Philadelphia, they live and die by the home run, but they're going to be living off home runs tonight because their power game in that stadium is so incredible.
It's insane.
And they can hit home runs in Houston, too. I mean, it's a bit more spacious park, but their power can translate into any stadium that they play in. So,
but also consider the humidity in Houston.
Yeah.
You saw during Game 3 the Phillies scored 7 runs. It was insanely dry that night.
Yep.
And I think part of it is Houston's just not used to that dry air, and that's why they struggle. But we've seen this Philly crowd be insane all postseason. And the fact that the Astros had to load the bases and take the crowd out of the game to be able to score runs says something about the Philly fans. And we saw the insanely small amount of Astros fans who have been there. And last night, if you watch the Philly captain's video, they were...
Tell people who the Philly captain is.
Philly superfan, goes to almost every home game. I think he went to 60 out of 81 home games this season,
and
regular season.
Keep going. Sorry.
Yelled at Zach Hampel, yelled at Alex Rodriguez.
There we are.
Yelled at Angel Hernandez.
You stink, and I don't like you.
Exactly. Yeah, so he's pretty popular. He has like 20,000 subscribers now on YouTube.
Go check him out.
But he was showing all the Astros fans were just stuck in this one secured off area from the rest of the stadium before the game to keep them safe from the Phillies fans.
This is reminiscent of how European soccer works. Are you familiar with how they have separate sections for visiting team fans?
And they weren't even put in. I don't even think they could fill a section.
Right.
And they weren't even in like one particular section, but before they went to the seats, they had to stay right in. And that's how it was. You've seen just the crowd be so intense all postseason. Against Atlanta, we saw the DUI chants when Marcelo Zuna, who had a DUI a few months ago, he comes up to the plate, you get the DUI. The tomahawk mock, as they're calling it, mocking the chop. And then
CJ, we're going to get to your comment in a little bit, but keep going.
Nothing insane against San Diego other than just being insanely loud.
Yep.
The one highlight of that series had to be
Aaron's better. That one?
Yes, but I was actually going to say Scott Fransky's call of Bryce Harper's homer, Bedlam at the bank.
Oh my gosh, that was ridiculous.
It's Bedlam at the bank.
Although I actually, as awesome as Scott Fransky was, Joe Davis had a broadcast moment in that when Bryce Harper hit the home run in Game 5 to clinch in the 8th inning, that basically clinched their ticket to the World Series. Punched that ticket, just yelling the swing of his life as the ball entered the stands.
Now,
that gave me chills.
I will say, I've liked Joe Davis this series, but I've talked to some people who here in Philly who said they don't like his call, and it's almost as bad as Joe Buck has been on the World Series.
Fans, stop it. The reason they don't like the call is because it's not as much the homer. People love the hometown call, the call that's their perspective, that's their way, and when it's disagreed with, they're going to have that attitude. I'm sick of that. These guys are pros. They're the best at what they do. That's why they're getting the biggest audience.
I mean, would I call Davis the best announcer out there for baseball? No, I think they're better. But he's dang good, and of course, John Smoltz always brings the insane analysis. And Mommy did make a point that if you're a casual fan and here in Philly or in Houston and you're just you don't live and die by the team, that it's a little hard to understand because they talk so much mechanics.
Right.
And I can understand for someone who doesn't watch every single game and who knows the analytical side. Like, if you're someone who doesn't know what a four-seam fastball is or what exit velocity is, you might have a tough time understanding these guys.
Which is why, by the way, I always thought, as good as Joe Davis is, Fox missed out on the announcer that they should have for this World Series above anyone else. It's not Joe Buck. It's Al Michaels. Because he's not with the network anymore.
That is true.
He is not with a network anymore. He is available to do baseball, and he's one of the best baseball announcers around, just that no one's heard it for the last 25 years because he lasted a World Series in 1995.
Wow. I will say, though, I've heard a lot of people talking about how they didn't like Bob Costas at all. I loved hearing him back on the plate.
Oh, he's fantastic. He is fantastic.
He's just, I mean, people were complaining about 18 innings of him, and I get it. 18 innings, that's a long time.
Still, that's
and he
awesome.
might be a little, tired, but he's so good. He's just so good.
And that's going to lead into the discussion of television and baseball. It sort of, I think, leads into C&J's point. I can't make it through a game without falling asleep. I'm always checking the score in the morning, hoping for 2 more Philly wins. We are 2 here, C&J.
I will say, though, game 1, I stayed up for that whole thing, all 10 innings. I was...
Steven!
Saturday morning, I'm singing Dancing on My Own. That's what I was singing.
Robin! Robin from Long Island! Thank you for popping in! Hey!
There's no doubt that I was singing Dancing on My Own by Callum Scott and Tiesto early Saturday morning after the Phils won Game 1. Game 2, I stayed up for the whole thing. Game 3, up for the whole thing. Now, last night, I fell asleep as they went into the ninth.
Mm-hmm.
And I got good sleep. I didn't wake up until about 7:30.
So, Robin, I do not want to put you on the spot because you are a world-class musician. All of you who are watching this, go subscribe to her channel like in the next 10 seconds. She's awesome. Great musician. I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you want to join us live, we'd love to have you try and do a live rendition of Dancing on My Own if you can pull it off. If you can't, I totally get it. No problem. But to C&J's point and talking about what you're discussing in terms of not being able to make it through a game, I read something today, an interesting discussion about the timing of these games.
Uh-huh.
The fact that they're starting at 8:03 Eastern Time, and you have so many fans who aren't staying up to watch the whole darn thing. And Robin's like, I'm going to tip that hat to Tony, but thank you.
I'm in the corner watching you kiss her. Oh.
The Phillies celebration song for
I'm
those
right
who don't
over
know.
here. Why can't you see me? Oh.
But baseball games, World Series games, are typically going about 3.5, sometimes close to 4 hours. And the fact that you don't have kids who are staying up to watch the whole thing.
Unless you're a diehard like me.
Exactly. Exactly.
I watched this whole thing.
You're getting love from Robin. Awesome.
Great song. Play it on Spotify. Callum Scott and Tiesto.
But the point being, oh, and by the way, great note here. My station, KYW News Radio here in Philadelphia, we are broadcasting Game 5 tonight. Go listen to it, 103.9 FM and on the Odyssey app, of course. I have tonight off of work, which means we can watch the game
and
together.
10:60 a.m.
Actually, it's not going to be on the AM side.
Oh, that's
It's going to be on the FM side and on 12:10 a.m. Talk Radio 12:10.
So half of the country won't get it.
But you can listen to it worldwide on the Odyssey app, I believe, at least. Anyway, these games are lasting so long. They end sometime between 11 p.m. and midnight on the East Coast, 10 to 11 in the Central Time Zone, our old home time zone. And they're saying, well, kids can't watch. I understand the complaint. But here are the facts with it. Somehow, some way, Nick, we are going to pull the Philadelphia Classic.
AK choking it.
Oh.
That's what he means.
Oh, man. No, Nick, I'm calling it. You're Phillying it. You're winning this World Series.
Yes.
You're going to win this World Series. You're winning tonight. The Phils are winning tonight, and they're going to win 1 of 2 in Houston. But the point being that the reason why these games are so long, number one, you have great hitters who understand how to wait for the pitch that they want.
Mm-hmm.
That takes forever. The New York Yankees mastered that back in the mid-1990s, and it's led to the kind of baseball we see today.
And, I mean, what you're talking about with those Yankees teams, Ralph Thompson was part of some of those teams.
Yeah.
As the bench coach, at least under Joe Girardi in those late World Series years with Jeter and A-Rod. I don't know if he was there early with the Yankees, but I know he's played with the best, he's coached the best, and that's, I think, we've seen Bryce Harper go off, we've seen Kyle Schwarber, even Brandon Marsh.
Nice.
It's insane.
Nice. Insane. Now, the other thing, though, is it all has to do with television and when the best ratings are going to come.
Mm-hmm.
It is common knowledge in the television industry that the biggest audience nationwide is between 11 p.m. and 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That is why they schedule the late innings of the game. They try and set the late innings of the game to happen around that time. They have to guess when that's going to happen based on the time that they start the game. And that's always going to be right around 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So it's all sports is a television program, people. That's how it works. When you consider that such a huge percentage of the revenues that these sports make are based on eyeballs being able to watch the game, you got to have the game on when they're going to be the most eyeballs.
Yeah.
And that's the way it's going to be. Nick the Legend. Rob was there earlier. Trust me, he played there. I mean, he is the perfect coach, I think, in a lot of ways, and has been the perfect coach in a lot of ways for this particular team that needed the kind of mental game change that he brought after the firing of Joe Girardi.
Yeah, and I will say, with what you're talking about, though, with TV, like some of Nick, Mikey, and I's teachers and classmates who had no care, or not, I wouldn't say no care, but were more casual fans, didn't pay that much attention to the Phillies. They're watching every second of every game now, and it's impressive.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Bear with me. Keep going on your point. I'm trying to message a potential guest.
Syndergaard, I think, Nick, that this is... Who did we lose yet? Or who did we use last night out of the bullpen? Can you check who we used last night?
Let me find out.
Because, we used Alvarado, obviously. But, just kind of looking... I don't know.
Bear with me.
It'll be... I think Syndergaard is good. He's pitched in the World Series before. You had the choice between Syndergaard and Gibson here, and Gibson pitched a few nights ago. So, looking at who pitched, they used way too many relievers last night. If you're down 5-0,
that hurts. Yeah,
you're down 5-0. Just keep Alvarado in there. Just leave him in.
9 times out of 10, and we need to make sure you're on screen here, buddy.
Yes.
9 times out of 10, in a circumstance like that, I'll agree with you with that philosophy. But this is the World Series.
That's true.
This is the World Series. You cannot give up any opportunity to win a World Series game.
Available tonight, who do you have? You've got Dominguez. You have... I'm trying to think of who else.
Here's the thing. In the World Series, if you haven't pitched 3 innings or more in the day before, you're available.
And
they're going to pitch these pitchers till their arms fall off.
And I'm going to be honest, I really, based on what Rob Thompson has said, I don't think he would agree with you there, because he has said he wants these guys on rest.
Maybe tonight you're right, but if your season is at stake and you lose that game, you're done. They're putting their best out there. I don't care.
That's true.
I don't care.
I think
if your season's on the line, you play.
Put Syndergaard in. If he gets into a little bit of a jam, I already showed that comment.
Yeah.
If he gets into a jam, you can bring Gibson in, and then from there, you can use other guys.
C&J, my eyeballs will be looking at the back of my eyelids. Just playing with you, understand the TV aspect. I'm just getting old. I understand.
And I don't know if anyone here is, but go ahead.
Iced coffee right here. That's keeping me going.
I don't know if anyone here is, but there's 7 of you watching. If you're just like, well, I'm just here to support the Storgies, I don't really care about baseball, I'm going to kind of give you a little picture of what's going on here.
And by the way, if that's the case, and you've got something cool that you want to talk about and join the conversation about, feel free.
So, tonight, you've got the number 1 seed Astros from Houston.
Mm-hmm.
They were in the World Series in 2017, 2019, 2021, and now 2022. Those were their most recent appearances. Number 1 seed won an insane amount of games. Then you've got the Philadelphia Phillies, the number 6 seed. They sweep the Cardinals 2 out of 3 games. You only need to win 2. They won 2 without the Cardinals being able to win. That's first. Then they take the series against Atlanta in 4.
Yeah.
The only game they lose, Zach Wheeler had a great night. The bullpen lost it for us at the end. Then you look at San Diego. They win that series in 5 games. Great series for the Phils. And now here, the World Series, the biggest stage in baseball, it's tied 2-2. The Phils win Game 1 in extras. The Astros respond in Game 2. Phils win 7-0 in Game 3, and the Astros 5-0 no-hitter last night. And that is what brings us tonight. Justin Verlander on the mound. Mm-hmm. He's been great all year for the Stros. And on the Philly side, you've got Noah Syndergaard.
Great roundup, by the way.
He's the guy right now.
Great roundup. I think Syndergaard, with maturity, comes, I think, a bit of perspective. And perspective, I think, can help calm nerves that otherwise would be a bit...
And consider also...
imperfect. And I think that will help him tonight.
I do have to say, Syndergaard knows this Astros team.
Yeah.
He was traded from the Angels mid-year. That says something.
Yeah.
I think he was traded from the Angels. I'm like 99% sure.
Yeah, he was.
So that tells you he knows this team.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Angels and Astros are in the same division. So
that's a help.
I think that is something good strategically. He knows that lineup. He's played against them. He's faced them multiple times.
Yeah.
And he pitched for the Mets in the World Series. The Phillies have 2 former Mets starters.
That's sort of like back when the Packers had Jim McMahon with them. And they won a Super Bowl with them. It makes no sense, but it's the reality. It's the reality. We have CJ joining us.
CJ, because he's a Braves fan, he doesn't like our Phillies. Because I'm like, why don't you like us? He's like, we're rivals. I'm like, kinda. Historically, the Phillies and Braves are rivals. But
they've played in some postseason series, and they've been in the same division for a number of years. I guess what, and I'll ask you, CJ, what is the team that Braves fans loathe the most?
Because for the Phillies, it's the Mets.
Let's see. Oh, we got some thank you. We got a thank you to give to Robin here. You never knew a whole lot about sports. You enjoy us a ton. Thank you. Your energy, your enthusiasm, contagious, engaging, informative. Robin, the check is in the mail. No, but seriously, thank you. That means a ton. If we can bring what we love to people who don't necessarily understand it as well, and you enjoy us in a topic that you're not necessarily used to, that says something.
Yeah.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Trying to set the stage. Mets and Phillies.
Mets and Dr. Phillies.
Dr. Phil.
Are the Phillies just like a bunch of television psychologists?
No, Dr. Phil. Right. Oh, okay. I didn't think you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I always thought it was more Mets than Phillies. Although there was that 1993 National League Championship Series. That was a whale of a series.
Yes.
And to me, the 93 team and this 2022 team here in Philadelphia have a lot of similarities.
Well, don't say that. Don't say that.
Why? It's true.
Because in 93 they lost.
But I'm not talking about the result. I'm talking about what makes up the team.
Okay. I will say, though, the Astros this series, we've talked about it before on this channel, and we'll talk about it again.
Mm-hmm.
In the past and in this series, the Astros have been very suspicious.
I mean, if you consider, for example, what was it, Game 2?
Game 2 with Framber Valdez, the hand.
The stickum that was never checked on the hand.
And we've seen other Astros pitchers in games with their touching their hair a lot, and it's become a common theme for that team. And we've also seen it was an accident, but
the Martin Maldonado,
and there was one other. I'm trying to think. Valdez, Maldonado. What was the other cheating thing they did?
I can't think.
Oh, I forget the third one.
While you think of it, CJ saying, bro, I'm so hyped up for this week, Saturday, Sunday. This is going to be absolutely lit.
Oh, I remember. Guy leaned into the pitch.
That's right.
And bot alert. Knock out the bot.
You're blocked in StreamYard. Oh, man.
Just hide them.
Yeah, they were hidden.
Oh, you already hit them? Okay.
They were hidden. Okay. Let's see. Yep, we're good.
What's the deal with Dusty Baker's black glove? I don't know.
Not sure. Not sure about that.
Should we drop the link?
When you say drop the link,
StreamYard link. See what the people have to say.
Don't drop it, but message us if you want us to send you privately the link. Okay. We'll bring you on. We'll do that. We will do that.
I don't know if you just wanted to do, they come in and then they face check and that, or.
Well, what? Let's see. You just mean like pop in for a couple of minutes?
Yeah, like they would join, and then before we put them on screen, they got to show their face so we know they're not a troll, and then they come in.
You know what? Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. We'll do this for the first time.
Invite.
We'll bring some friends on.
All right. So before we put you on screen, you just got to show your face. So
I didn't know that there was a World Series game.
Yes,
tonight.
CJ, there is. That's why we're live.
Originally, there wasn't supposed to be one, but Game 3 in Philadelphia on Monday night was rained out, so they had to push the entire series back a day, which means that Game 5, which was supposed to be last night, is tonight because they had to have Game 4, Game 3 the day before, all that. They pushed the whole series back a day, which means that Game 6 is going to happen Saturday night, and Game 7, if it's necessary, will happen Sunday night.
So, Saturday, Georgia, Tennessee, and Phillies Astros back-to-back. Number 1 Tennessee, by the way, according to the College Football Playoff Poll. The AP poll says otherwise.
To our friends that love college football, a 1 versus 2 game is must-watch television, and 99 times out of 100, I'm with you and watching that game. Not this Saturday.
Really?
If the Phillies win tonight, this could be the first time, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but I believe it's the case, the first time in American professional sports history that 2 teams from 1 city can clinch a major pro sports championship on the same day.
Wow.
The Philadelphia Union is playing for the MLS title against LAFC Saturday afternoon, 4 o'clock Eastern.
That's true.
My eyeball's going to be on that.
I'm probably going to have the Union game on the TV and whoever's streaming the Georgia-Tennessee game on this laptop we're using.
Florida State, CJ says, is going to beat the dog crap out of Miami. Oh, no, sorry. Incorrect pronunciation. Dog crap. Not just dog crap. Dog crap.
If you're like, what's that link in the chat, by the way? Give StreamYard mic/cam access, and then you come on, and you just come and talk with us.
Exactly.
Pretty simple.
Exactly. And it does not need to be about sports. If you want to show us a song you're working on, or if you want to just chat about whatever else is on the brain, there's some topics we're not going to get into, but most topics are absolutely good. Feel free to pop in. We will discuss. We'd love to have some friends on, some guests on with that. But absolutely am going to be focusing my head Saturday on both those 2 games, especially because I have to for work. So with my job at KYWD's radio. CJ saying, come on, but you can never hear anything.
That's weird.
Is that a technical issue on your end?
Probably. I'm just going to quickly grab. I'm going to.
Uh-oh.
send the link to Chicago Sports Network and Stat Sheet Sports.
Okay.
So that they can get it.
Absolutely.
Our good friends over there, I have stuff on.
Oh, Robin. Oh, perfect question. This we discussed on our channel before, but we will bring this up again. But I will expand the discussion from hot dogs to overall sausages. So please forgive me for that. We have now been to 16 Major League Baseball stadiums and some minor league stadiums. Best hot dog so far. James Charles, we are going to get into your question at some point very soon, so stay with us. We will discuss that.
Is our camera tilted?
Slightly, but I'm not too worried about it. It's okay.
I will say though,
Hold on.
pitchers don't go up against each other.
True.
Go Fightins.
Hey, we'll disagree, but baseball fans always welcome here.
Go
always.
Fightins.
To get to the hot dog discussion, we've been to 16 stadiums. We came from Milwaukee. Milwaukee sausages are king.
Yeah. I don't usually have hot dogs. I get chicken tenders at the games.
Because you get chicken tenders at every location in the world. If they're serving chicken tenders at the Louvre in Paris, he's getting chicken tenders.
Probably.
But the bratwurst with secret stadium sauce at Miller Park, it's now called American Family Field. You have it with warm secret stadium sauce and warm sauerkraut. It is eating butter. It is that tasty. It is that ridiculous. The secret stadium sauce that they serve in Milwaukee, it is so good. Bob Costas, who Robin, I believe, is a fellow Long Islander now. But actually, no, I think he lives in St. Louis now. But
he does live
he has moved back to St. Louis. But for his house, he has gallons of it ordered from the Milwaukee Stadium food service vendors, just so he has it available for him to put on his hot dogs, sausages, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It is incredible how good that is. Some of the other hot dogs and sausages that we've seen that are good.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I will say though, Miller Park new food.
Mm-hmm. We have evidence of that in some vlogs that we have in the can that we will eventually be releasing. Hopefully soon.
It's good.
Hopefully sometime early 2023. Detroit has some fantastic hot dogs at Comerica Park.
Yeah, go Fightin' Phils.
Absolutely.
And
thank you, Robin. Now I will ask Robin. You are a native New Yorker. What makes up a world-class New York hot dog, especially the toppings?
King Pookie Nation. I know you got a channel. Hop on and talk. You've been live for every game.
Yep.
Hop on.
All right. Now to James's question. Can Syndergaard beat Verlander?
Pitchers don't go up against each other.
That's the thing. It's matchup of pitcher versus the other team's hitters and the other team's pitcher against your hitters. It's never direct. It's not like it's boxing where like Syndergaard and Verlander are going into a boxing ring by themselves. And by the way, fantastic answer, Robin. The attitude when you order it, like a good New York attitude. Love it. But
well, welcome in.
Thank you, Fear the Spear Rogers. Thank you for popping in.
I see the college football.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll get some more streams.
Go check out King Pookie Nation tonight.
Yeah.
But it's what does that particular team do against your hitters? And Verlander, game one, he was not too bad.
He was good.
He was not too bad. Phils had to come back. They did. They did, but the Phils had to come back.
Let me think. Florida State fans.
I wonder.
Oh, CJ. CJ, True Seminole.
Thank you.
It could be either of those guys. I mean, I'm part of a huge college football community, and when I say streams, I have been talking about maybe doing some stuff over the holidays with some good friends of the channel.
We'll see. But it's about what you have to do against the other team's pitchers. And that's where it's different. That's what's different. Dabo Sweeney's rock. Go Astros.
Why are y'all cheering for cheaters? I don't get it. I don't get why y'all are cheering for cheaters. Like, come on.
We welcome everyone, even if we disagree.
Unless you're an Astros fan or you're a Mets fan.
Oh, Team Sorgi. Thank you, Robin. We love that you're a part of it. Thank you for popping in, saying hi to us. We appreciate that. Everyone, go check out her music channel. Go check it out. She's phenomenal. She's an amazing musical artist in a lot of ways, especially deep songwriting, powerful stuff. Go check it out. Go check it out.
I don't know, maybe Hendon Hooker to the Packers. I'd like that.
Oh, don't get me started with the Packers. We have an entire show just on that. As we are 52 minutes in first pitch.
Go watch Tom Grossi for all that. I agree with almost all of his takes on what's going on.
We'll dive into the Packers for a little bit on this World Series preview show, just because it's top of mind.
It's sports.
The Green Bay Packers right now need to start their rebuild.
They stink.
They need to start their rebuilding mode. They have been one of the model NFL franchises for continued excellence and continued contention for championships for 30 years.
Go.
Pack. Go. Yes, Happy Hodak. They have been one of the models for 30 years. That's run out. That has run out because of the decisions that they have made, which were understandable decisions at the time, that simply haven't panned out. Particularly when you pay Aaron Rodgers, the amount of money he's making on this insane contract that the Packers are going to be stuck with until 2024 unless he decides to retire, and the money they're paying David Bakhtiari, whose heart and effort is among the greatest I've ever seen with a left tackle, but whose knees just simply will not let him perform the way he needs to.
And he's been a little bit. He's had some false starts, let's just say, this season when he has played. Happy Hodag! I'm going to drop the StreamYard link again. If you want to hop in and...
Want to talk Packers? Feel free.
Yeah, here's the link again for everyone.
You want to join us?
Top sports and more.
Now, I think they're out of state now, and it's going to be a long rebuild because they're going to have a lot of cap money that are still going to have to go to these big signings, which means they can't bring in the talent that they want to bring in. Do you really think they were going to be able to pull off a trade to get receivers or other pieces that they needed for a team that's only won 3 games all year long and has so many holes they need to fix before they can even think about being a championship contender?
I was hoping so, but I don't know.
There was no realistic way. Do you really think they would be able to do it and get OBJ in town and instantly become a championship contender? No. I don't think that they want to come because they're looking to win a Super Bowl. They ain't doing it with the Packers this year. And very frankly, I think Aaron Rodgers has gained a reputation around the league as someone that a lot of players don't want to play with at this point. I really think that.
Oh, they're back.
Let's see. Yep, taken care of. Gone. He gone.
Bot knockout. Ding, 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 ding.
He gone. He gone. But the point being.
Let's go.
The point being.
Let's go.
That the Packers are.
Let's go.
Just. They need to rebuild. They need to start from scratch. They need to start over. I don't think Jordan Love is going to be their answer necessarily because they're not going to have enough time to find out what they've got with him. And he is on a contract year, which means he is going to need to be paid big money in order for them to keep him. So I don't really think they are going to be able to contend for a long time. I lived as a kid at your age during the time when they stunk. And Green Bay Packers fans are going to have to realize what it's like when your team stinks and you ride it out and you're still with them. Because Packers Nation has exploded over the last 30 years of domination. Okay, I'm off my soapbox.
Okay. Let me think. Bucks are 7-0. That's something good coming out of Wisconsin.
That's absolutely spectacular. Wisconsin being our home state, for those who don't know. It's too early, I think, to supremely dive into them because we're still in football season.
Yeah, I don't really pay attention until who are these college football fans that are coming in all of a sudden?
Thank you for popping in. Well, they're your buds.
I don't know any of these people though. I watch. I mean, I'm very active and I know my people, but I've never seen some of these people. But
okay, War Eagles, Boomer Sooner Robertson. Number one, thank you for popping in. Number two, I got a question for you. I believe in the past, Oklahoma has played Auburn in some bowl games. If that happens, who do you root for? Who do you root for?
War Tide, Roll Eagle, right? Did I say that right? No, I'm kidding.
War Eagle.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know.
I'm doing the thing.
Your blood is green and gold for the Green Bay Packers. Amen. And Major League Baseball winter meetings.
And I will.
That'll be fun.
If I'm at the next Packers ownership meeting, I will have a say on trading freaking. No, I'm kidding. I'd like to trade Aaron Rodgers. I'll bring that up. No.
They're not going to be able to pull that off as much as we would love it, just to be able to free up the salary cap space. No one wants to take it on for a 39-year-old quarterback who has one healthy leg and doesn't make good decisions.
The only team that would want to take him is a team that he would not want to go to.
Which is?
I mean, there are multiple, but I'm just saying the only team. I should have said teams, because there are teams that he just wouldn't want to go to.
I get you. Okay, that's a good explanation. Auburn normally, because they're my first alma mater, but I also went to Oklahoma. Makes sense. Funny story. Buddy of mine, and he's still a good person despite the fact, War Eagle, you might have this opinion, that he teaches at the University of Alabama. One day on Twitter, he challenged all his Twitter friends to come up with a haiku. You know what a haiku is, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. How many syllables for each?
I don't remember.
5 syllables first line, 7 syllables second, 5 syllables third.
I have the idea of what it is, okay. But yeah.
To come up with a haiku in Yoda voice, where you write the haiku the way Yoda would talk it. This guy is a huge Alabama fan. So what do I respond with? And please forgive the accent. Here we go. Mistakes they've been making. Long return Chris Davis does. No tide. Eagle War. And the guy, I think, both wanted to laugh uproariously and shoot me. but he was laughing too hard to do that to me. And that is my one Iron Bowl memory. Deion Sanders.
Deion to Georgia Tech.
Deion Sanders as a head coach.
I want Matt Rule to go to Auburn. Oh, that's another thing we could talk about. We could talk about college football because both Wisconsin and West Virginia are both in the middle of coaching searches.
But
well, not West Virginia yet, but they will be.
Number one, Deion Sanders may become the best recruiter in the history of college football, but can the man coach and organize and lead an actual operation of a college football program?
Done well at Jackson State. Who knows if we can do it in the FBS?
Jackson State, the pressures are that big compared to the FBS level, especially the Power 5 conferences. And you have to have the most organized mind and understand how to push the buttons of 105 individual people while also attempting to recruit. If Deion Sanders can do that and succeed, fantastic.
CJ Jeff Collins. Here's the thing, and I'm going to talk, Wisconsin football. So Paul Chryst fired, and I've heard a lot of people say to me, I was surprised when he was fired. Now, I don't have sources at all. I'm not going to say I do because I don't. But I will tell you that as a Wisconsin fan, I can only imagine that people in Madison are tired of Barry ball. People with money could easily be speaking to the university and say, we want Chryst out. We want something new here. And I think that's what happened.
If that's what happened, beautiful, because I've been screaming for that for years. And I was the pregame show host of the Wisconsin Badgers Football Network, by the way, for 2 years. So I was close to them. I was close to the program. I got to know Paul Chryst. Outstanding human being. Doesn't mean he's the right coach for him.
He knows how to coach a football team. He just can't recruit quarterbacks.
And Barry Ball, for those who don't know, in the audience, Barry Alvarez was their coach in their heyday in the 1990s when they went and won 3 Rose Bowls. And they did it by ground and pound, running the football. And when defenses get tired of you running the football on them, you're going to run the football again. And they won all these Rose Bowls, but they could never, at that point or ever afterward, contend for a national championship because the best teams in the country are going to be able to stop you because you have a one-dimensional offense. You got to be able to throw the football and get big plays out of your passing game. Mm-hmm. And they refused to do enough outside of the year with Russell Wilson that they had in 2011 to be able to create a team that could move the football down the field in the passing game. And that was the one year where they had a legit shot at playing for a national title.
CJ, talk with Nick about that one. Nick likes the Warriors.
Nice. But the fact is Wisconsin had to be able to open up the passing game. I'm glad to see what they've done with Jim Leonhard so far with that, to see that he's been open to making this a two-dimensional offense, but they've got to be able to recruit the big-time athletes in the passing game to make it work.
For all the new viewers coming in, here's the StreamYard link.
Mm-hmm. And for all the new viewers that are coming in, it is Game 5 of the World Series coming up in about 41 minutes. And so we're talking World Series, we're talking sports in general. So we'll discuss all those different subjects.
You can see
whatever you want to bring up.
Right there. Game 5. Series is tied 2-2. Number 1 seed Astros, number 6 seed Philadelphia Phillies.
One thing we can discuss?
What?
And we're going to have a video coming up on this sometime probably next year, only because we've had to take some time off of doing vlogs because it takes so long to edit them. And I'm in the midst of a lot of practicalities that I have to take care of, especially with work and especially around here. But we had a chance to go around and experience what a World Series atmosphere is like.
We did.
This week.
So we had some extra time on our hands, and I wish we had clips of this.
You were off school.
I was. So we went down to the bank and had a little fun.
He didn't cheat. He didn't skip school.
No,
don't worry about that.
I just had it off. So didn't go to the game because obviously tickets are insanely
They're more
expensive.
than $1,000. Although I think for this game they dropped like $800.
Let's see. StubHub.
But we were just spending a day in the city before I had to come back and go to work. We were spending an early afternoon and a morning in the city. And so we went down to Citizens Bank Park and just experienced what's the atmosphere like in the World Series.
All right, so one ticket for this game. $662 standing room.
Prices have dropped.
And we are less than an hour before game time. If you want to sit, it's going to be $270.
$720, I mean.
Oh, $720, not $270. I can't read.
That brings up a great topic.
I'll be right back. Go ahead.
That brings up a great topic that we'll bring with you while I'm sitting and waiting here and waiting for the kid to come back. Tell us, what would you pay $1,000 for? What would you pay $1,000 for? What events would you say are worth $1,000 for you to spend to go check out. Tell us, what sporting event, concert, other type of event that you have to pay an admission fee for, would you be willing to put up $1,000 to go see? Tell me what you think. For me, Super Bowl. If it was the Brewers in this World Series, I might consider spending it. I definitely might consider spending it. Would definitely consider. Clemson Tiger and Fighting Irish Ryan. Go Phillies. Now that is a combination.
Let's go.
Happy Hodag. Packers in the Super Bowl. You're like me. I would spend that. But the thing is, you're not just spending for all that. You're spending the hotel, what they're going to jack the price up for. Uh-huh. You're spending on the airfare because they know you're coming for the Super Bowl for your team. They're going to jack the price up for.
Yeah, I'd spend $1,000 for Packers in the Super Bowl.
Brewers in the World Series.
Brewers in the World Series. Bucks in the NBA Finals.
Marquette in the Final Four. My alma mater.
Those are my four.
Now,
I wouldn't do it for the Philly teams because I just don't have as much interest. Tater Man this week as Clemson plays the Fighting Irish. You know that whole thing, right? Other teams' fan base is starting calling them taters. So now they're tater.
Now this, of course, brings up a funny story where I'm Pops. I'm the old man. Who's another other friend of you? YouTube friend of yours?
Bet.
Yeah.
Bet always calls you Pops.
Yeah, but where there's like another YouTuber who's always talking about old stories, and then if you get the two of us together.
Oh, J-Dub, Jeff Webster.
We should set that up.
The Midwestern camera guy.
I was blessed to cover a Rose Bowl when I was working with Wisconsin Badgers Radio Network. But it was a circumstance where, because of a number of different logistical issues.
Oh, yeah, sorry. West Virginia, Wisconsin in the national championship. If they played each other.
Right. Where I was going to have to find a different way than the team charter to be able to go to cover the Rose Bowl. I'd have to find a way on my own to get there. And the university was fantastic in terms of taking care and reimbursing and everything. But I was going to have to find my way. And I was trying to keep the budget down. I found it was about, I want to say it was 10 years ago, so it's different money today. But Red Sox fan, all right. It was about $250. I had to fly from Milwaukee to Baltimore to get to Los Angeles. Through Baltimore.
Maryland.
To get to the Rose Bowl. I had to fly clear across the other side of the country to get there. But it was a ridiculously cheap deal because all the other flights were more than $1,000 to get to the Rose Bowl. And people are willing to pay it because they love their team that much. That's why these prices are so astronomical. That's why people are paying $1,000, no problem, for World Series tickets to see their Philadelphia Phillies win it. And by the way, I think they're winning tonight. And I think they're going to win 1 out of 2 in Houston.
Phil's in 7.
I'm saying 6.
Okay.
I'm going to go 6.
Okay.
I think they're going to win Saturday night.
I'd be fine with that.
And for those who are just joining us, I think the reason being, I think this team has a capability for resilience like few teams do, to be able to come back off getting no hit. And, I mean, you could see it immediately. Kyle Schwarber after the game was like, I don't bleeping care. We're coming back tomorrow. Tonight's game's done.
Bryce Harper saying we're flushing it.
Yeah. It's going to be out of our system. And I think it's easy to be able to say that it's out of our system, especially when CJ, who are these people?
Are these CJ's alt accounts? Because they're all 2-teamers. I shouldn't say 2-teamers. They're all fans of two teams. Two teamers is like, I don't like using that phrase. But they're fans of two teams, which CJ is. Georgia Tech, Florida State.
So, now, but the reason why I say it, you had the catcher from last night's game saying, that's the best fastball I've ever seen from any pitcher ever, from Christian Javier last night. And if you saw a video of his curveballs, of his breaking balls, they were dropping like 3 feet. It was ridiculous what he was able to do with his pitches. It was just off the charts.
Here, can you I need to get onto the YouTube thing for a second to do something in the chat. I can't do it through StreamYard.
Well,
no, no, I'm kidding, CJ. If you can just pin the StreamYard link, that was what I was.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll just do that. I'll do that anyway. My point being that they were so good that Christian Javier was so incredible last night that you cannot judge how well the Phillies are going to do based off last night. Because Christian Javier was Sandy Koufax and Greg Maddux roll into one. One of the best pitching performances in the World Series ever. It was not Philadelphia failing ridiculously bad. Epic fail. It was excellence, unlike what I've seen in the modern day game of baseball. That may have been the best pitching performance in the World Series in 30 years. And he's not going to have a chance to be able to pull that off for the length of a full start, because if he starts Game 7, it's going to be on short rest. And it's going to get to a point, even though his will's going to want to tell him, keep going, I don't know if he can go past 4 or 5 innings.
Who?
Christian Javier in Game 7. So.
Sorry, I zoned out for a second.
That's all right. So my point being that I think it's easier for the Phillies tonight to like you said with Bryce Harper, flush it out of their system and start from scratch and remember, hey, we're a bunch of bad you-know-whats who dominate pitchers that come into our stadium. And even when we're on the road, we are a home run hitting machine. We are a power hitting machine. We can take care of business no matter what, and we can easily get back to ourselves. If they lost to your average pitcher in a 4-3 game, I think it would have hurt them more. CJ, but for real, I've never seen these people here other than Fear the Spear Rogers.
I've never seen either of those, and I've never seen the Irish dude either.
But the point is, I think Philadelphia's going to be in a much better mindset than they normally would be after a World Series loss, because they can flush it out. I think they're mentally stronger, and I think they're going to come through and win tonight. And then it's just, you got 2 shots on Houston. They'll win one of them.
Yeah.
I think they'll win one of them.
The only place these people could be from is Golden Blue Dudes chat, because they have it set up where if anyone says hi to me in the chat, if they say Sorgi, it automatically puts our link in there. So
nice.
Could be that, or I'll just be like, I'll let Joey or whoever else know that a lot of people will see it. So
we are 30 minutes away from first pitch.
Exactly 30. Of
Game 5 of this World Series.
This could decide. I mean, it decides who goes off.
I think the stat says 70% of the time the Game 5 winner wins the World Series.
Yeah, something like that.
Which brings us to another fantastic topic, by the way. See this uniform that he's wearing? They're wearing it tonight.
It's a home Thursday.
It is a home Thursday.
Home Thursdays.
And Major League Baseball has granted them permission.
Why do they need permission granted?
Because Major League Baseball has the jurisdiction to say you can't wear this uniform or that uniform in the postseason.
Oh, that would be stupid.
Right, but there's so many side one-off uniforms that they can just choose.
Yeah, true.
So you can only submit certain uniforms that you can put in the mix, and Major League Baseball granted them permission to wear the throwbacks tonight.
Man.
I would have so loved to have seen that be for a clincher in Game 5. But that said, I think it's going to play even a better part with their mindset, because they almost never lose in the Baby Blues.
What's their record in the Baby Blues?
Let's look it up. 2022 Phillies home record powder blue. They are,
according to CBS Sports,
let's see, 6-3 this year in the powder blue.
I like that.
And also, the last time they wore the powder blues, the last 2 times they have worn the powder blues in a playoff game, in a postseason game, in World Series or other playoff games, they won. 1980 NLCS deciding Game 5. Back then it was a 5-game series, not 7. In Houston, against Nolan Ryan, they came back off of Nolan Ryan while Mike Schmidt was in the middle of a slump.
Michael Jack Schmidt.
The rest of the team carried Mike Schmidt in that game and got them to the World Series in extra innings.
I carried the team. He carried the team on. They carried Mike Schmidt on their back like Gray Jennings. I don't get that phrase. It's just a thing. People say that.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
And as a Packers fan who covered Gray Jennings, I should know that better than I do. And then in that World Series, 1980, Philadelphia, Kansas City. KC won games 3 and 4 to tie the series at 2. They're in Kansas City. They come back in the 9th inning off the bat of Michael Jack Schmidt, win Game 5, come back to Philly and win Game 6 and win that World Series.
Hold on, is that why Mikey's name Michael? I want to know.
Michael Jack Schmidt.
Man, I bet someone in the city is with the last name Schmidt has named their kid Michael Jack.
I would almost guarantee it. If any of you know of a Michael Jack Schmidt
that you know personally
in Philadelphia, tell us.
Not even in Philly, just like at all.
Anywhere. But I'm sure it'd be in Philly more than any place else.
Schmidt. It's a home run over the left field wall.
And you are wearing one of the Mount Rushmore baseball jerseys right now.
Second best of all time.
Yeah, behind the 82 Brewers road jersey, that baby blue and gold. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. And that, Yankee pinstripes, and the yellow 1979 Pittsburgh Pirates.
I say Brewers old school pinstripes isn't there.
Oh, it looks fantastic and it's home, but you can't be the Yankees tradition.
Yeah, I mean traditionally yes, but like best looking.
We're
talking best looking jerseys. Those pinstripes pop. They just pop.
You know what else would have to compete then with that?
What?
The Kelly Green Oakland A's.
Those are amazing too.
Insanely awesome jerseys.
Yeah.
Insanely awesome. Best baseball jerseys. Tell us. Favorite baseball jerseys.
Join the show. Talk about jerseys if you want to.
We got the link up at the top.
Sports fashion is so great.
Yes.
I love talking sports fashion.
By far. And the Philadelphia Phillies have some of the best sports fashion there is in baseball.
There needs to be a show, and it's like a sports fan and there needs to be a fashion expert on YouTube that does videos on reviewing sports jerseys by their look.
Kid, if you had the budget to be able to buy all these sports jerseys, that'd be you. But you need the budget. That's
I'm not a fashion expert.
You can become one.
Okay.
A sports fashion expert. As a sports expert, there you go.
But here, I mean, like someone who's not a sports fan, who just bases it off of looks, and there's no tradition to it. It's just this is how it looks.
Rob and Eve, if for some reason you're still watching us, you're fashionable. You've got a fantastic marketplace store with amazing jewelry. Go check it out. Go support her marketplace. She's doing it for a fantastic cause.
See, what I always say is
she'd be a good one. Go ahead.
As long as I don't look ridiculous, I'm good with it.
Okay, well, what's a ridiculous jersey?
No, I mean like just in general with clothing.
True.
Like, I don't wear, like, we got baby blue pants from Target. I don't know where those out. I wear them at home to be comfy.
Yeah.
Like, it's that kind of thing. I'm not going to wear something that looks absolutely ridiculous. I'm not going to wear Seahawks light green.
True.
I'm just not.
It's almost puke green. It's that ugly.
No, it's not puke green. It's just.
It makes me want to
neon.
puke.
It's neon.
Whereas, like, neon yellow actually isn't too bad. But neon green, Anyway, again, we go off topic here. World Series Game 5. I love the combinations of the Phillies uniforms. The red pinstripe they've got at home. They've got the cream with the blue hat.
This one?
At home.
Yeah, this one.
Yes. They've got the baby blue that they wear.
This one.
At home. On the road, they've got the gray. They've got the red. Am I missing any?
Red, gray. I don't think so. Well, no. On occasion, I feel like they've worn the old school, this era pinstripe with maroon.
In the 70s, they had a maroon jersey.
No. Like.
Oh, their home jersey was maroon pinstripe. Right.
Do they wear those anymore?
I don't think so. I would love to see them go back to it as an alternate.
They said that the Phillies City Connect jersey is going to be maroon, which I would love.
By the way, tonight, I want to see that, which they're going to have. And I think the Astros jersey they wore last night, that orange, that's a cool jersey.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wish they'd go back to the 80s Astros, just because you're seeing the 80s Phillies. I think it's a fantastic move, but they don't have that in their regular rotation.
MLB needs to do, like, if it comes, like, just one weekend, whether it's 2010s weekend or 2000s weekend, 90s weekend, 80s weekend, however far back the franchises go that are playing.
The thing is, because you've got so many franchises, I mean, half the franchises in baseball literally go back to 1903.
That's what would be fun, 1903 jersey.
But then the Milwaukee Brewers and the Houston Astros can't participate.
Yeah, they wouldn't participate. It would only be matchups that would happen. Like, you'd have I mean, it would probably be better if you just did an 80s game. Like, a game between two old.
I could see that.
Like, you know.
I could see that.
But yeah.
All right. Tonight, who do you think? Because I think the Phillies are going to win this game.
I agree.
Tell me your reasons why. Tell me your breakout star tonight. Who's going to be the impact
breakout
guy?
Star?
Who's going to be the impact guy?
Who's going to be the impact guy? So I feel like Gene Segura is due.
Yeah.
I feel like he had a good regular season. I feel like he's due, but last game at home for the series. I could say Bryce Harper.
Well, it's got to be Bryce Harper.
I think it could be Bryce Harper. I think it could be Kyle Schwarber. But Segura and Stott are two guys we haven't seen deliver. I feel like it's their time to shine. Did Stott have a homer?
Oh, I'd have to look. I don't think
Did
so.
he have? No, because the 5 homers the other night were on Stott. But yeah, I feel like Segura and Stott have yet to come through.
20 minutes from first pitch, by the way.
Yeah, we'll see them come through at some point, I feel like. But, yeah.
You know who I think the journeys that a lot of Philadelphia sports fans are doing this weekend, because mind you, there is some simultaneous craziness that's going to be happening tonight in Philadelphia sports.
We forgot to talk about the Birds. The Birds are playing
the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles are playing
terrible.
They deserve to be demoted to the Big 12 Houston Texans tonight on Thursday Night Football.
For the Texans.
And you had, I guarantee you, a ton of Eagles fans going to this game in Houston tonight.
Yeah, there are.
Who at first were like, no, I want to fly back. I want to get back to Philly to watch the Phillies clinch the World Series in Game 5, but are now scrambling, number one, to get their boss's permission to stay for an extra day in Houston and spend the weekend, and have scrambled to find hotel reservations because they're staying for at least Game 6. I would love to have their bank account.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of, did anyone win Powerball?
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
I'll have to look that up. But I guarantee you there is a big contingent of Philadelphia sports fans right now in Houston that, number one, are going to be watching the World Series game and not paying much attention to that beatdown that's going to be happening at Energy Stadium.
Huh?
Is it Energy?
Oh, it's sorry. When you say Energy, I'm like, I thought you were talking. No, it's. I always call it NRG. Okay. And I always get confused. Okay. Sorry.
And then number two are figuring out a way to stay and catch these World Series games in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And you made a point earlier that there's a big Philly contingent in Houston going to these games. Nobody from Houston has come up here.
It's been insane. I mean, it feels like it's Kate Upton, Justin Verlander's wife, and all her friends, essentially.
And the families of the players, and that's it.
Because the only Houston fan they all ever show on TV is Kate Upton. And then you see Tim McGraw, Tug McGraw's son. You see last night the First Lady was there. Like, you see
Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, Bruce Springsteen. So many celebrities.
I think there are a number of reasons why. One, these games are midweek.
That's true. It
is hard to get off of work and say, I'm going to go see some World Series games. Number two, and I think the bigger reason, they don't want to deal with Philly sports fans. The first time we ever came to a game here in Philadelphia was when we went on our Milwaukee Brewers road trip and we saw the Phillies at a 10th Stadium back in 2018. Mm-hmm. The first time we ever came to the city, we fell in love with it. Mm-hmm. And then I get a job offer out here 3 years later, and we've moved here. And the fans at that Brewers-Phillies game were fantastic to us. Uh-huh. They were great. They were kind. They were welcoming. They were the antithesis of the stereotype of the Philadelphia sports fan.
Uh-huh. I will say, though, this year, usually, you've seen our videos, I'm always loud on the road, cheering on the Brewers. This year when I'm there, I'm like, I'm kind of terrified of Philly fans. I'm not going to be loud. I'm going to stay quiet. I'm going to cheer when we do something good, but I'm not going to go, let's go, Brewers! The only place I would have the guts to do that is in 301. Because I know they're nice there. I know they're nice in Section
301 being a Philly super fan section.
It's always fun in 301, as the captain would say.
But the Philadelphia sports fan, especially in the postseason, is known for being the most insulting and sometimes the most violent in sports. The stories we have heard of visiting team fans going solo into a bathroom and coming out with something on their face that they didn't go into the bathroom with,
or not coming
like a bruise. Right, only come out with assistance.
Yeah,
because of fans who are rude and unkind. And that's not the majority of the fans going to the games. I mean, it's just a few, but you don't want to deal with that.
I mean, one of my friends' dads was talking about some dudes at a Flyers playoff game, and the dude went to the bathroom, never came back. Like, never came back.
I'm sure he left.
Yeah,
he lived.
But he
wasn't killed.
Yeah, but like he never came back to the section.
I mean, we even talked with some friends of ours here who were like, "I'd love to go see a Brewers Phillies World Series or NLCS game here," and they're like, "No, we're not going with you because we know what will happen. We're going to have to defend you because of all the Phillies fans who are going to want to beat you up."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something.
Insane.
Like Packers and Eagles, even. Eagles regular season games are the same way. Packers are playing the Eagles after Thanksgiving. We're not going. I am not putting him through that.
Yeah.
I might someday consider it myself, but I'm not going. I'm not taking him, and I am not wearing Packers gear because I want to live.
Yeah.
So I'm playing that safe.
What was I gonna say? But there's so many nice Philly sports fans.
They're fantastically good people who are going to these games, who are the antithesis of the stereotype, who are kind, who will give you a ribbon for what you're wearing, but will engage you, will be in good conversation with you, will have fun with you. We had a ball at these games with these fans.
Yes.
When we went earlier to see the Brewers play the Phillies this year. They were great to us when we were in our Brewers gear. And
it was a little friendly trash talk.
Yeah.
But I love wearing Phillies gear too. Like it's fun kind of being one of them and kind of feeling that fun.
Philly has embraced us. I mean, so many people in Philadelphia are like, oh, we get why you're still Wisconsin sports fans, number one. But we love that you're with us, that you're riding with us when you're not with your own team. Happy Hodag, and your experience with Eagles fans, they're the worst. At least those have been the ones who have come to Lambeau. Having talked to some Eagles fans that have gone to Lambeau, the ones who we met were fantastic. They recognize that people in Green Bay, the nicest fans to visiting teams, unless you're a Bears or a Vikings fan, but for the grand majority, they are the kindest, they are the nicest. They will rib you a little bit, but they will invite you over to the tailgate, have a beer, have a bratwurst. Let's get to know you. We love that you're here. Are you having fun? Are you having a good time? Great. Have a party with us. Yeah. That's how we are. That's Wisconsin hospitality.
It was kind of funny on my alt account. I was just messing around, and I was like, and I saw that there's like an Astros, like talk show that popped up on my YouTube feed, and they're like, it's called, and like the name of it. So I like took the name and I made it something about the trash cans, and then you respond. He actually responded back, and he said,
"Wow."
He said, "We need this kind of America needs this kind of comedy."
Nice.
I'm like, because I was like, go trash tros, hashtag ring the bell, whatever. And he was like, it was pretty funny.
Man, we may need to talk to the folks at the Pandemic Crew and see if, because I mean, we know when the Brewers and Phillies are playing their games, both here and in Milwaukee next year. We may need to talk to the Pandemic Crew and say, hey, we've become one of you for the grand majority of the games. If we play our team, we're still going to root for them. But go check out Milwaukee.
Let's call them.
Set up a road trip.
Yeah, and we
back
will,
to Milwaukee.
And I'd be willing to go with them and help set them up and get them at the right spot and all that fun stuff.
Happy Hodag, the best fans I met from an opposing team, Patriots season ticket holder back in 2014, which, by the way, throwback game, Packers Patriots at Lambeau, in a season that should have also been the Super Bowl. That regular season game between the Packers and Patriots was a classic. Rodgers against Brady and the Packers winning that game.
Yeah.
In Lambeau. Just insane. National TV audience, that was an insane game. Absolutely.
I will say, thinking about this Phillies team, I think the fact that they've made it this far, it's like, I feel like it's like they wouldn't be here and lose it. I feel like they're not going to come from all the way to the bottom and lose.
I get you.
I feel like they started from, the song says, started from the bottom, now we're here.
10 minutes away, by the way.
I feel like that's what it is, and exactly 10 minutes away, as it is 7:53, November 3rd, 2022.
Great game to go by the way. Yeah.
10 minutes away from World Series Game 5, the Houston Astros, the Philadelphia Phillies. Number 1 seed Astros against the 6 seed fighting Phils.
He's our graphics department, by the way.
Was it terrible?
Not bad.
Okay,
not bad
good.
For what you have. You don't have all the Adobe graphics at your disposal.
I'm a pro at Canva.
Nice.
I know how to use Canva well.
Nice. Yeah, but I'm saying the Phillies are winning this one tonight because I think they are mentally stronger than most to be able to come back off getting no hit. And I think the fact that this is one of those games where you look at it and they're like, That was the best pitching performance in the World Series in 30 years. Most dominant pitching performance in 30 years. I mean, you could have had Ruth and Aaron and Mays come up, and Christian Javier, with the way he was doing last night, would have struck him out 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. And I'm going to ask you, we are now 8 minutes away from game time. Score prediction. For like
6-4 Phillies.
Okay, so I like that. And player of the game?
I think it's going to be Bryce.
I like
I
it.
think you're going to see Bryce Harper. I expect at least an extra base hit out of him that's going to score runs. If it's a home run, that crowd's going to go off again. It's going to be just like Game 3 was, which was maniacal.
And my prediction, can I have one more look at the Astros lineup?
Yeah, Mr. Champion.
I know who the Phil's at, but I'm just curious about the Astros. Okay, so Altuve, Pena, Alvarez, Bregman, Tucker, Gurriel, Hensley, McCormick, Maldonado. I think that Altuve is going to give Syndergaard a little bit of trouble. Pena, I don't think so much. Alvarez, Bregman, I worry about those two. The rest of the lineup, I'm not. I mean, Tucker's good, but I'm not insanely worried about him. I'm going to go with the Phils 5-2. Actually, no, I'm going to go 6-3.
6-3. Okay. We both think it's going to be an offensive, not explosion, but plenty of fireworks.
And Phil's in how many games?
I'm saying 6. I think they're going to win this in 6. I think they're going to win tonight. And I think Wheeler will be in the right frame of mind to dominate and be the Cy Young kind of pitcher that he's been in the past.
I'm going to go Phil's in 7.
Okay. I also think the Phils will be extra motivated because they do not want to face Javier in a Game 7.
That's true.
He would be on short rest, but you probably still get 4 or 5 dominant innings out of him.
Yes.
You can't go. You will not go Game 6 unless they have to pull him out of relief just to keep them alive, which I don't think that they would do. They would save him for a Game 7 situation like that. So I still think this is Philadelphia's series. Last night was the kind of a team where if you are not mentally tough, it's a body blow that could lead you to collapse. But I think the Phillies lineup is strong enough and the mentality is strong enough that I think they can overcome that.
Yeah.
I see them winning it. I see them winning this game.
6 minutes to Game 5 of the World Series.
Last prediction. How high will the decibel meter go at Citizens Bank?
I forgot to give my player of the game. I'm going to go Schwartz.
Schwartz.
I think Harper has a nice game. I'm going to say, to get the 6 runs, I think Schwarber 2-run homer, Bryce solo homer gets you 3 runs. And then I think we see a Segura 2-run RBI. And give me a little, and I'm going to go JT Realmuto with an RBI tonight to get the 6 runs for the Phillies.
I'm going to end this on a funny note. Last night, before the game, Wawa tweeted, each time the Phillies get a hit, take a bite of your hoagie. Hashtag Schwarberfest. They didn't get hit.
And they said...
so you had the tweets that came out of this were gold. Let's see. You had someone called an account called Keep On Keeping On. Yeah, that brother's starving. Let's see. Tweeter named Joe Maniello. Well, we're while waiting. Let's see. A few others that with words we can't say. Thanks, Wawa. I'm starving to death. Let's see. Aaron Strout, who is a freelance writer for Rutter's World. A hoagie wrote this. The Portland Pickles baseball team said, great day to be a hoagie. Michael Schwab, who is an Astros writer with Politico and USA Today, a former Politico writer, said, children are now starving because of this. Also, Buc-ee's is better. We're going to have to test that someday.
Yes, I will say, though, in Philly, the restaurant's not serving the Astros.
That's true. Angelo's. World-class Italian place.
And there was a barbecue place.
I forgot the name of it, but yeah.
I think it was Michael's Barbecue.
They refused to serve the Astros.
They served. I mean,
I wouldn't do that. I still think you should have. To me, it's classier if you do it.
I mean,
if you serve them,
it's like at least, like, you know, it's better than, I don't know.
Oh, Mike Emmett could check that out. The Taco Bell.
I will say though, it's steel bacon taco.
Right.
He's talking about, but I will say, like, I don't like. I mean, if I'm in the World Series against a team that's cheated, I don't know if I'm serving them.
No,
I don't know.
Yeah, still show hospitality.
Yeah,
definitely. We want to beat the pants off of you, but we're going to treat you with class and dignity.
At least they didn't food poison them.
All right, we are wrapping up our live discussion here. We want to thank all of you for popping in, for joining us. Everyone, check out each other's channels. Robin Eve, you can find her link up in the chat, way up in the beginning portions of it. Outstanding music channel. Go support her music. Go even check out her marketplace. Got some. If you're shopping for great gifts for the holidays, fantastic jewelry that she sells in her marketplace. Go check that out. We got a World Series game to watch, kid. We better go upstairs and check it out.
Yes. That'll wrap it up for today.
Yep.
Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and smash that bell. Ding!
Ding!
Ding! And you can tell I'm a little excited. Then follow us on Instagram at Sorgy Stories.
Mm-hmm.
Follow us or follow Daddy on Twitter.
The letter JSORGI.
And follow our Facebook group.
Sorgy Stories.
So
for little buddy, I am Daddy.
Have a good night and go Phils. Bedlam at the bank.